Today, we're getting into three really big ideas: abundance, trust, and sincerity. But we're looking at them through a specific, quite powerful Islamic lens. We want to explore how these things, which seem personal, can actually have a huge impact on, well, safety in society.
Yeah, and for this deep dive, we're drawing mainly from an article, Abundance, Trust, and Sincerity, The Islamic Path to Safety. It's from Islamic Donate Charity.
Right.
And it lays out a really compelling case, actually.
So our goal today is to kind of unpack that, how this abundance idea, when you combine it with being truthful and sincere, genuinely sincere,
Yeah.
how that can actually build a foundation for a world that's more trusting and maybe even safer, sort of a roadmap, mixing old wisdom with, surprisingly, some modern psychology ideas too.
Exactly. A quick but hopefully deep look.
Okay, so let's start with the mindsets then.
Yeah.
Psychology talks about this scarcity mindset, right? This feeling like there's just never enough.
Never enough time, money, love.
Exactly. And the article points out this often leads down a path of, well, fear, maybe selfishness, definitely mistrust, even envy. It sounds pretty negative.
It really does. But the contrast is this abundance, or as the article calls it, plenty mindset,
Okay.
which is the belief that fundamentally there is enough for everyone. And psychologically, this tends to foster, generosity, trust, cooperation, thinking longer term.
Right, not just grabbing what you can right now.
Precisely. And what's key here from the article's perspective is how this plenty mindset isn't just a modern psychological trick, it's deeply embedded in Islamic faith. It talks about Allah as Ar-Razak, the provider, and it quotes the Quran directly, Surah Saba. Whatever you spend in his cause, he will compensate it, for he is the best provider.
Wow. So that belief that there's this infinite provider, it must change how you view everything. Resources, giving.
It really shifts the focus. It encourages giving over hoarding, doesn't it? And trust over fear. It's an internal thing first.
Right. Okay, so let's unpack that then. How does that internal shift start to, build outwards? How does my belief there's enough connect to something big, like societal safety?
Well, that leads us right into the next piece, which is trust.
Right.
The article argues trust is absolutely foundational, and it's built on truth. Which, of course, needs honesty, but also sincerity. You have to mean it.
And the impact when that truth isn't there, when promises are broken.
Yeah.
The article really stresses that. Islamic Donate Charity says, never make a promise you can't keep. It sounds simple, but they use this example of refugees.
Yeah.
A broken promise about food isn't just disappointing. It's described as wounding the soul. It breaks their trust in people.
That's a powerful illustration, yeah. It shows the real-world consequence. And the Quranic quote reinforces this from Surah As-Saf. "O you who believe, why do you say what you do not do? It is most hateful to Allah that you say what you do not do."
So it's not just about letting someone down personally.
No, the article connects it directly to destroying trust on a community level. It says when you say one thing and do another, the bonds just fracture.
Right.
And a society without that trust, it argues, can't really have peace. It really cuts deep, that principle.
So, okay, if trust is built on truth and keeping promises, but it's so fragile, how do we make it stick? How do we make it sustainable and strong?
And that's where the third concept comes in strongly, sincerity, ikhlas.
Ikhlas. Okay, what does that mean exactly in this context?
So ikhlas in Islam, as the article defines it, is about doing every action purely for Allah's pleasure. Not for show, not for what people will think, not for reputation.
Okay, so the motivation is key.
Exactly. The examples given are things like feeding the poor, helping refugees, even just speaking kindly, but doing it because it's the right thing to do, because it's commanded, and because ultimately Allah sees your true intention.
That's a high bar.
It is. Yeah. And Islamic Donate Charity apparently holds this as a core value in their work.
And the article contrasts ikhlas, this sincerity, with the opposite. Hypocrisy, right?
Nifaq? Yes, nifaq. Described as pretending, performing, and posturing.
It makes you wonder, who are we really fooling when we do that?
Well, the article suggests that while Allah obviously knows what's in our hearts, the command against hypocrisy is also crucial for the community, the ummah.
That's so.
Because sincere actions, they naturally inspire trust. Truthful words build confidence. Real integrity, it creates a safe space.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for the vulnerable. They feel protected when they sense that genuineness. So connecting it back, it's really about the health and security of the whole society.
This feels like everything is really tightly linked. Like one thing directly causes the next.
It does. And the article uses this great analogy. It calls it the domino effect.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Let's walk through those dominoes.
Sure. So as the article lays it out, First, you adopt that abundance mindset, the belief there's enough.
Right. Step one.
That naturally encourages you to be generous, to collaborate, to be open. You're not trying to hoard.
Makes sense. Less fear.
Exactly. Then that openness builds trust because, well, you're not hiding things.
Okay.
But trust needs to be maintained, right? So that requires honesty.
Yeah.
Saying what you mean, doing what you say, keeping promises.
Back to the promises, yeah.
And that honesty, to be real, needs sincerity, ikhlas.
Yeah.
Doing good for the right reasons, for Allah's sake.
Got it. So sincerity underpins the honesty.
Yes. And that sincerity strengthens relationships, builds accountability. People know where they stand.
Which leads to?
That accountability protects those who need it most. The needy, the voiceless, the vulnerable. They aren't forgotten or exploited.
And the final domino.
Protecting the vulnerable makes the whole society safer. Emotionally, economically, even spiritually safer for everyone.
Wow. That's quite a chain reaction. And it really drives home the point that the article suggests it all starts with you.
It does. Your personal mindset, your integrity, it's not just personal, it ripples outwards.
It connects your small actions to this much bigger picture of global well-being.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And the article wraps this part up by bringing in the idea of the ummah, the global community. It uses that beautiful quote from Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Which one is that?
The believer to another believer is like a building whose different parts enforce each other.
Like bricks in a wall supporting each other.
Exactly. The implication being we're meant to complete each other, not compete against each other.
And making sure the weakest bricks, as the article puts it.
Yeah, the needy, the hungry, the broken.
That they don't fall through gaps left by dishonesty or just neglect. It puts a real responsibility on everyone.
It does. The call is really to reinforce each other with faith, with truth, with that abundance mindset, strengthen the whole structure.
Which really brings us back to the practical side.
Yeah.
What does that mean for us day to day?
Well, that's the key question, isn't it?
So wrapping this deep dive up, it seems clear how these Islamic principles, thinking abundantly, being truthful, acting sincerely, they really do create this powerful chain reaction.
That domino effect.
Moving from just, personal integrity right through to potentially a safer, more trusting world community. I like how the article put it. Every time you donate honestly, serve with sincerity, keep a promise, you are not just helping one person, you're helping the world heal.
It's a profound thought. It connects the micro to the macro beautifully.
It really does.
And perhaps, just to leave you, the listener, with something to think about, given this idea that Allah knows the secrets of the heart, that sincerity, ikhlas, is so vital, maybe ask yourself, what's one small, truly private act of genuine sincerity you could do? Something not for anyone else to see or praise, just purely for the right reason? What could be your first domino, contributing in its own small way to that bigger healing?